That event that was scheduled for Thursday at Owen High School has been rescheduled for Monday, March 3rd from 5 to 7 p.m. In these extremely cold temperatures, our community paramedics work to make sure our unhoused neighbors have a warm place to stay throughout the Code Purple initiative. On these Code Purple days, participating shelters provide more beds with fewer requirements. Transportation to these shelters is available for free through ART, and community paramedics are also available to provide transportation to those who are unable to use the bus. We alert the community about active Code Purple Days on our social media and website, and we also light our Health and Human Services building and our Register of Deeds purple to signal to our community that Code Purple is active and encourage spreading the word. In addition, our community care station at Owen Pool in Swannanoa has remained open overnight when temperatures are below 32 degrees since last November. This station at Owen Pool is typically open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekends. Our other three community care stations are at the Fairview Ingalls, Morgan Hill Baptist Church on Barnardsville Highway, and Bethel United Methodist Church on Riceville Road, p.m. daily. Due to the weather, all disaster recovery centers in Western North Carolina are closed today. Remember that important information about the weather, closures, and resources are sent out through our direct messaging system, BC Alerts, and we encourage you to sign up by texting BC Alerts to 99411 or visit buncombecounty.org/code red. Today, we have Captain Elliot Summey and Detective Tawny Jones from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office here to provide an update on some scams that we've seen targeting our survivors. We also have Asheville Communications Director Dawa Hitch here and Asheville City Manager Deborah Campbell. But first, as we always do, we'll hear from our County Manager, Avril Pender.
Thanks, Lillian. Good morning. Last week, more than 100 of our neighbors in Barnardsville joined us for our first Resource for Recovery event to get one-on-one help with their recovery after Helene. I want to give a thank you to Chief Mundy and the Barnardsville Fire Department for their help and assistance in making that possible. You will have another opportunity next Tuesday, as Lillian mentioned, to get help from over 40 partners and their programs, answers to your questions, access to applications, financial assistance, and more. Bring your documentation so FEMA staff can check on the status of your application. If you receive a denial letter from FEMA, Fiscal Legal and Legal Aid of North Carolina will also be there on site to provide guidance for your next step. We encourage you to drop in at Reynolds High from 5 to 7 p.m. We will also have several county departments, including libraries, printing library cards, the Register of Deeds, providing birth certificates if you've lost that in the storm. Public Health will be there providing free vaccines and more. All Souls Counseling will be joining us, and we've got dinner covered at no cost to the attendees, thanks to Food Connection. We have several dates and locations. So next Tuesday, February 25th, at the Reynolds High School cafeteria from 5 to 7 p.m. Thursday, February 27th, at the Lester Community Center, and Monday, March 3rd, at Owen High School cafeteria. They're all drop-in style, and it starts from 5 o'clock until 7 p.m. We're hoping to see you there. There are important deadlines coming up that we want to make sure you don't miss. If you have not done so yet, we highly encourage you to let FEMA know about your losses and needs after Helene. This is the best way to get you started on your recovery journey, as it can cover a variety of costs, including rent, storage unit, home repairs, tools for work, and more. All disaster recovery centers in Western North Carolina are closed today because of the winter weather. But it's not necessary to go to a center to apply for FEMA assistance. The fastest way to apply is online at disasterassistance.gov or visit the FEMA app. You may also call 800-621-3362. During better weather, you can also visit one of our disaster recovery centers in Buncombe County. These are at the Fairview Public Library and Weaverville Town Hall, open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You will have until March the 8th to apply for disaster assistance with FEMA. In Buncombe County, FEMA has distributed over $130 million in assistance and counting. You can also get money for lost wages by applying to disaster unemployment assistance. This program is open to Buncombe County residents who lost work due to the storm, including business owners and individuals. The deadline for this was extended to March 10th, and you can apply at des.nc.gov. That is DES. If you need help navigating FEMA disaster unemployment assistance, access to food, transportation, or have other needs, sign up for the North Carolina Emergency Services Disaster Case Management Program. This program is available even if you haven't applied for FEMA or if your FEMA application was rejected. What is great about this program is that you will get paired with one case manager who will be your go-to guide for recovery. You may get paired with Stephen, pictured here. He is an Asheville resident who is working with survivors to make sure they get access to all the resources that they may qualify for. To apply, call 844-746-2326. Again, that is 844-746-2326, or complete the intake form at buncombeready.org. Representatives will also be at our Community Resources for Recovery events next Tuesday. If FEMA has assessed your property as major damage or worse, Red Cross has an additional assistance program available to provide financial assistance to owners and renters. Team members will be at the American Red Cross Western North Carolina chapter, located at 100 Edgewood Road, today from 6 p.m., or you can go to redcross.org/Helene Relief. They would also be at our community resource event, so you can talk with them there. Crews have made huge strides in debris removal in our community. There are 4 key areas where debris removal is currently happening. This includes public right-of-way debris removal, private property debris removal, waterway debris removal, and removal of vehicles and tanks. For public right-of-way debris removal, the Army Corps of Engineers is currently on day 146 of its mission here, and the contracted crews are on their second pass of debris collection in the right-of-way. We have been hearing from some folks that a first pass has not been completed yet on their roads. If this is the case, please call the One Buncombe call center at 828-250-6100 and provide your location so we can alert crews and send them your way. The deadline the Army Corps has received for public right-of-way debris is March 1st. So if you're unable to get your debris to the right-of-way, please sign up for private property debris removal, which is well underway. And we've received over 3,000 applications from Buncombe County residents. Nearly half of those applications have been received online at www.buncombeready.org. So no need to wait in line. Of those applications, 1,400 have had their inspections completed, and more than 1,200 have been delivered to FEMA. And more than 100 have already had their debris removed at no cost. For waterway debris removal, there are 15 active waterway crews and 43 hauling trucks. While this work physically started in our waters 2 weeks ago, lots of work has happened behind the scenes. Another program that's here for you is a hazard mitigation grant program. 300 households in the county have submitted an application for elevation, reconstruction, landslide mitigation, property acquisition, or other needs. You can learn more about that program at buncombeready.org as well. And finally, Buncombe residents with damage to stream banks causing infrastructure threats may be eligible for the Emergency Watershed Protection Program. That is through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It assists with debris-clogged waterways, floodplains, and unstable stream banks. Go to buncombeready.org to fill out the Buncombe County Property Damage form, or you can call the One Buncombe Call Center. Again, that number is 828-250-6100 to get connected to that program. Our folks have already visited 35 sites, so that work is happening right now. A reminder that if you need access to free, healthy food, you can visit our community engagement markets. In addition to food, these markets provide connections to other resources when available, including medical services, Helene recovery mortgage, rental, and weatherization assistance. At these markets, you can shop for free and take home the food that you like. Visit buncombecounty.org, community engagement, for a full list of market dates. Don't forget that we have a new website where you can find all the information that we have shared today. Visit engage.buncombecounty.org/Buncombe Recovers to find progress updates, recovery resources, information on debris cleanup, rebuilding efforts, and disaster assistance programs. And if you prefer to talk to someone or have any questions, call our One Buncombe call center, again, 828-250-6100. That is available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And now we will hear from Bill Norton with Duke Energy for an update on their winter storm response.
Hey, can y'all hear me okay? Checking audio. Can y'all hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine, Bill.
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
Thank you.
So as of 11 a.m. This morning, the great news is we have no power outages in Buncombe County, despite the light snow that fell this morning. Our forecasters really do not expect significant mountain outages due to the snow itself. The bigger issue is going to be the 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts tomorrow, bringing down trees. So even though we're currently clear of outages, Duke Energy has already implemented our detailed storm response plan. We've made sure our trucks are supplied, our crews are fully staffed, and in fact, in addition to our regular Duke Energy crews in the area, we have 18 contract crews here in Western North Carolina for the ongoing electricity infrastructure rebuild. So we're in great shape to respond quickly to any outages that do occur. As you've seen recently, Mother Nature has thrown us some challenges. Last week, we had an ice storm that caused outages in Black Mountain and Spruce Pine. Sunday, we had very strong winds that caused challenges in Asheville and Haywood County. So we really appreciate our customers' patience as we worked as quickly as possible to restore power from those weather events. And we're in position to do so again, too, if we have challenges overnight tonight or tomorrow. The biggest ongoing challenge for us is weakened trees and saturated ground. Any strong winds that we get is going to bring down more trees. That's just unavoidable. We are trying to get ahead of that, though. Our vegetation crews have recently inspected more than 1,300 miles of power lines, identifying nearly 650 danger trees that had a high likelihood to cause outages in the future. And we've already removed the majority of them. But even with that proactive approach, obviously we can't remove every tree that could potentially cause problems down the line. So even though we're fully staffed to quickly respond to any outages that do occur today or tomorrow, if you have extensive tree damage taking out multiple poles in your area, repairs can take an extended period. And we're going to have dangerously cold temperatures tonight, and especially overnight Thursday and Friday. So please have a plan in place just in case you lose power for an extended period of time, especially if you or a family member rely on electricity for medical needs. Now is the time to make sure your mobile phones are fully charged, along with any backup batteries. Know where they are, make sure they're charged. Other devices as well, such as iPads or laptops. Make sure you have an adequate supply of flashlights, batteries, bottled water, non-perishable foods, and especially medicines. If you do lose power and use a generator, follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure safe operation. As Lillian mentioned, be sure to operate your generator outside and never in a building or a garage. Likewise, you can't use grills or other outdoor appliances indoors for space heating or cooking, as those devices can emit carbon monoxide. For other safety tips like that, please visit duke-energy.com/outages. Those tips are helpful now for you as you prepare, and there are other tips for what to do after severe weather. That's also the place to report an outage, or you can also use the Duke Energy mobile app on your phone. You can text out to 57801, or you can call us at 1-800-POWER-ON. That's 800-769-3766. Beyond the immediate storm, there are 3 other topics I'd like to really quickly touch on. One is the ongoing cleanup of damaged electricity infrastructure in North Carolina. We know this is a priority for the community, as we heard earlier in this conference, and it's our priority too. We've had dedicated contract crews working in Asheville for months just doing infrastructure cleanup. Those crews have now moved on to Spruce Pine for the ongoing cleanup there. But if we do have more damage from Buncombe, from this storm, they'll immediately come back, take care of that electricity infrastructure, and keep on moving. Second, power restoration from Hurricane Helene itself. As you've heard me say before, we've restored power, long since restored power to every structure physically able to receive power. If your home or business has been in an extended rebuild and you've just gotten that electrical inspection that says, yes, you are now safe and clear to receive power, please contact us. We are ready to hook you up, but we do need to hear from you after you've had that successful inspection. Finally, after this, the extended deep freeze that we had in January, and now this ongoing winter weather in February, for customers who are not on a budget billing plan, bills are undoubtedly going to be higher given the amount of energy used to heat your home this winter. To help, Duke Energy recently expanded our assistance programs for customers in need, particularly low-income households. Last year, we saw $90 million provided in energy bill assistance to North Carolina customers, helping more than 114,000 households through programs like our Share the Light Fund and other initiatives. For this year, we've expanded our weatherization programs and other initiatives to help customers use less power. So if you're struggling to pay your bills, or you simply want to lower them, visit duke-energy.com/winter energy savings. That's duke-energy.com/winter energy savings, all one word, for tips, links to financial assistance, and much more. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And Bill's going to stick around in case we have questions from the members of the media as we wrap things up a little bit later. But next, we want to turn things to Captain Elliot Summey with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, who's going to share a little bit of information about some scams that we've seen lately that are targeting our Helene survivors here in Buncombe County. Captain Summey?
Good morning. I'm Captain Elliot Summey with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. I currently oversee the daily operations of District 1 within the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. That is the southeast portion of Buncombe County, which is our Fairview, Arden, Oakley, and Swannanoa areas. My counterpart, Captain Angie Tullis, who unfortunately could not be here today, oversees the daily operations within the Northwest Division of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, which is our Kendler, Leicester, and Barnesville areas. Also in attendance with me today is Senior Detective Tawny Jones, who after I finish will go into a little bit more detail about some of the fraud scams that we are seeing across Buncombe County today. I just want to speak to you for a little bit and talk to you and address something that we know is not new here in Buncombe County, but is impacting a lot of people in our community right now. Scammers are calling your phone claiming to be with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. And they're good. They lure you in by verifying your address, which seems legit, but then they get you by you into a lie. You missed jury duty, or you're in trouble. And if you don't pay them, they're coming to arrest you. The form of payment they want is always the same. It's Walmart gift cards. And they're pretty convincing. They sound just like I sound, high-ranking, professional, and they have this sense of urgency about them. I'd like to share with you an example of one of these fraud scams that we're seeing across Buncombe County. A friend of our public information director called him, and she was concerned about a phone call that she said she received from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. She didn't answer because, like many of us, she didn't recognize the number, which she said was from Silva. If it's that important, they'll leave a message. Well, they left a message, and it went something like, "I'm Captain Summy with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. We have an urgent matter we need to discuss with you. Call us back when you have a minute." Her husband also got a call right about the same time, making this sound even more believable. They also left a voicemail. Her husband called the number back, and on the other end, a professional-sounding sergeant with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office saying that he missed his jury summons. His wife suspected it was a scam and shared a screen grab of the scam warning we have posted on our Buncombe County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, which you have not seen it. I highly recommend and suggest that you go to it and read through it. It's got a lot of good information on there. But here's why they thought it might be legit. They had just moved and thought maybe the summons went to their old residence. These scammers knew their current and former addresses and verified it with them. He asked to speak with the supervisor. The scammer said he would have someone call him back. And a short time later, he got a call from a different person claiming to be a supervisor with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. Thankfully, they realized it was a scam and hung up before the scammers got to the part where they were saying if you don't pay them, they're coming to arrest you. Please understand that the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office will never call you asking you for money for any reason. If that happens, tell them you know it's a scam and hang up the phone. And if you ever have questions or concerns about a phone call you receive from someone saying that they work with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, please call us. Myself or Captain Tullis will be more than happy to answer the questions that you have. And we rest assured, it's a scam. No one with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office is coming to arrest you if you do not pay them. And now I'd like to bring up Senior Detective Tawny Jones, who will go a little bit more in depth about fraud investigations. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Detective Tawny Jones, and I am working financial crime with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. So I just want to come up and speak to the community and elaborate on Captain Summers' message regarding scams. I just want you to know that the most recent scam that has affected our community within the past week has been an individual or scammers, I would say, that is calling and impersonating myself, Detective Tawny Jones. They're utilizing email addresses that they have created that are not real. They are Gmail email addresses. We do not use Gmail email addresses. They're also sending out fake summons saying that they missed jury duty, asking for payment via Venmo. I just want you to know that I am a real detective with the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. My name is Detective Tawny Jones, but I am not contacting you by phone or by email requesting payment. Myself, nor any other detective or any other officer of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office will ever contact you asking payment for missed jury duty. Not by Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, any other money transfer method. I just want to take this time to elaborate on Captain Summers' message, let you know that if you receive this call or you receive an email, you feel free to immediately hang up and contact someone at the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, and we will be gladly to speak with you and let you know that this is a scam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope my mom was watching that segment. Next, we will hear from Asheville City Manager Deborah Campbell with an update from their end.
Thank you, Lillian. Good morning. My name is Deborah Campbell, and I serve as the city manager of Asheville. As usual, I want to start by thanking everyone in the community for your continued support and your ongoing efforts to contribute to our community's recovery from Tropical Storm Helene. We are on day 147 of our emergency response and recovery efforts. Today, we will provide updates on the city's winter weather preparedness message, the launch of a new Asheville Recovers website, the results of the Helene Recovery Priorities Survey, which will be given by our Communication and Public Engagement Director, Dawa Hitch. She will then turn it back over to me, and I will conclude with updates on City Council's recent retreat and an upcoming opportunity to share comments on the city's 2025-2026 budget. So, winter weather update. City staff across multiple departments are working together to deliver a coordinated response to today's and tomorrow's winter weather. Yesterday, Public Works crews pre-treated priority roads with brine to help prevent ice formation and are out salting the roads today as well. As was stated by county staff, temperatures are expected to drop tonight, which could make for icy road conditions tomorrow morning. For proactive measures, our Public Works crews will remain working through the night and into tomorrow, salting the roads until conditions improve. Water crews are on standby for 24/7 coverage as needed for possible water line breaks. Additionally, fire, police, and water production teams will be staffed for 24/7 coverage as well. Residents are encouraged to stay informed through the city's website and social platforms. If travel is necessary, please practice caution as icy roads are a possibility. With respect to the predicted temperatures being in the teens, the two most important steps you can take, particularly to protect your water pipes, are cover outside faucets, drip an indoor faucet overnight. The full list of protective measures are posted on Water Resources website and on the City of Asheville social media channels. Shifting back to Helene recovery, I'm happy to share today marks the launch of a new city managed website, ashevillerecovers.org. This site is a dedicated online resource for Helene recovery within the city limits. The site was designed to ease navigation through the many channels feeding into our city's ongoing recovery efforts. Many of the features you will see were inspired by feedback city staff received through the Helene Recovery Engagement Hub. Whether you're looking for progress updates, public meetings, community-sponsored events, upcoming FEMA deadlines, volunteer opportunities, or links to resources, all information can now be accessed through this one site. In addition to city information and updates, ashevillerecovers.org also provides access to the vital work being done by community partners. From nonprofit initiatives to local government actions, the site showcases collaborative efforts and resources available to rebuild and strengthen our community. The site will continue to grow and evolve, and I encourage you to share events, suggestions, or resources by navigating to the envelope icon at the top of the page or the contact link at the bottom of the homepage. We invite the community to visit ashevillerecovers.org, stay informed, and be part of the recovery process. I'll now turn it over to our Communication and Public Engagement Director, Dowell Hitch, who will give an overview of the Helene Recovery Priorities Survey that took place earlier this month. Dowell?
Thank you, Deborah. And first, I'd like to share a sincere thank you to all who participated in the Helene Priorities or the Helene Recovery Priorities Survey. There were nearly 6,900 responses. And while this type of engagement is not a statistically valid measure, it does give some insight into our community's experiences and needs following Helene. The results of the survey were an important reference point for City Council as they identified key focus areas for Helene recovery at their annual retreat last Thursday and Friday. Survey outreach included daily social media promotions, media coverage in local news outlets and at these community briefings, announcements in city newsletters and email campaigns, direct engagement with neighborhood groups and business organizations, flyer distribution at city community centers, the transit center and public bulletin boards within the survey area, and door-to-door outreach in legacy neighborhoods through our Community Connector program. Today, I'll give just a few key takeaways from the survey. A full report is available at ashevillerecovers.org/2025 survey report. So if you'd like to dig in a little bit deeper, that information is available there. So now back to the results. A number of key areas of concern emerged from the survey respondents, including strengthening infrastructure, expanding housing solutions, supporting economic recovery, enhancing food security, and maintaining a focus on sustainability. With respect to strengthening infrastructure, 96% of respondents rated infrastructure repair as essential or very important, and 94% supported rebuilding infrastructure to be stronger and more storm resilient, even if it takes longer. 94% highlighted road repairs as essential or very important, while infrastructure improvements such as sidewalk repairs, greenways, and bikeways were rated as lower importance. Those percentages were 68, 63, and 44% respectively. Demographic information was optional on the survey, which is our standard practice for all public engagement surveys. And while this survey is not a representative sample, there were some notable differences in responses within different demographic groups. One example is in the housing stability area, where 74% of overall respondents rated affordable housing development as essential or very important. And then when looking at responses by demographic groups, we saw that 88% of people who identified as renters rated that same function, the housing stability focus area, as essential or very important, as well as 86% of lower income residents, 83% of younger respondents, and 80% of respondents who identify as Black, Indigenous, or people of color. Additionally, 71% of overall respondents support rent or mortgage assistance to prevent displacement. Digging a little deeper into impacts by key groups, BIPOC communities gave greater importance to housing, food security, and transportation accessibility. Business owners gave greater importance to business recovery at 89%, identifying that as an essential or very important need, and arts funding. Again, that was at 75%. Displaced residents gave greater importance to basic needs. Lower income respondents gave greater importance to affordable housing, rental assistance, and emergency shelter. Renters gave greater importance to affordable housing, emergency shelter, and tenant protections. And finally, young respondents, which are identified as age 25 and under, noted higher percentages of emotional distress, challenges to food access, and income loss. These survey insights and input from a workshop with Asheville Board and Commission chairs were a first step in understanding community impacts and needs. Moving forward, there will be additional input opportunities for deeper understanding, including engagement around the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funds that the city received. Those meetings are underway. There is a meeting tonight at the Skyland Library at 6 p.m. Additionally, there are in-person meetings scheduled February 24th at the Wesley Grant Southside Community Center and February 26th at the East Asheville Library. Please visit publicinput.com/cdbg-dr for more information. I'll now turn it back over to Ms. Campbell, who will follow up with an overview of last week's City Council retreat and how this engagement helped inform City Council's discussions around Helene recovery priorities.
Thank you, Dow. Asheville City Council members met last week on February 13th and 14th at their annual retreat to discuss Helene recovery priorities over the next 18 months. During the two-day retreat, council members identified guiding principles and a vision specific to Helene recovery. The recovery vision they identified was as follows: rooted in resilience, rising in unity, repairing with care, ready for tomorrow. To achieve the recovery vision, City Council identified the following guiding principles: community-centered, accountability and transparency, maintaining Asheville's uniqueness, innovation, strength, resilience, sustainability, and collaboration. As Dowa mentioned earlier, the Helene Priority Survey and the Board and Commission Chairs Workshop provided City Council information about the community's current needs and experiences in the aftermath of Helene. With the input received in mind, council members established 4 priority areas focused on Helene recovery: people, housing, infrastructure/environment, and the economy. Facilitators and city staff are currently summarizing the notes from the discussions at the retreat and will identify draft priority action steps. Those draft priority actions will be shared with the City Council at a future work session. As we look towards the 2026 fiscal year budget, the community is invited to participate in the budget public comment session during the February 25th council meeting. This meeting will be held in person in the council chamber located on the second floor of City Hall at 5 p.m. Comments may also be submitted by email or voicemail through the engagement hub located on the front page of the city's website. The city manager's proposed budget will be informed by community input from this early public comment opportunity and direction received from City Council. And in closing, I'd like to extend my continued thanks to the mayor and City Council, all of our dedicated City of Asheville employees, our other partners in the county, state, and federal government, as well as our private and nonprofit partners who continue to work tirelessly on recovery efforts. I'll now turn it back over to Lillian.
Thank you. With that, we will turn this over to questions from the media who are on a separate Zoom link. We do still have Bill from Duke here on the call with us. And so we will look to see if we have any questions from the media. Captain Summy and Detective Jones are also still here as well, if there are questions about scams for them. Anything in the chat, Angelica? Angelica's shaking her head no. As we close things out, we want to thank y'all for joining us here every week. If you want to hear about a certain topic or from a community partner, please email us your ideas at pio@buncombecounty.org. Next week, we will have Asheville Habitat for Humanity joining us to talk about changes to their program to support Helene survivors. And so we will look forward to that next week on Wednesday at 11. Of course, we encourage you to stay up to date by signing up for our org/code red. And with that, we will conclude this week's briefing and we will look forward to seeing all y'all back here next week. Thank you.